Hello, sorry I'm late going live, couldn't find my phone. Of course it was right here in the end when I'd spent ages looking for it. Today I'm going to talk about problem solving with measure, which is such a powerful opportunity for expert maths teachers and is often neglected as to how much good you can do with it. Unless of course people come and ask me questions, in which case I will concentrate on your questions. So as you get towards the end of primary school, problem solving with measure comes up in weight, it comes up in capacity, and there are two videos I've published this week on teaching, but I just thought it was an opportunity to bridge across the common themes there. So when teachers come across problem solving with capacity or problem solving with weight, they tend to look for the page of problems on that. And of course the most powerful thing is just to think, what are my children weak at? Or what do they need a bit of refreshment with? Because you know your class, and make sure that you create problems that target that. So for example, if your class haven't did long multiplication a while ago and they need a bit of a refresher on it, you could set them a problem. There's 24 millilitres in a small container and we've got 23 of them. How much volume of water have we got altogether? But I wanted to get a bit deeper than that into the key reasons why children have problems solving mathematical problems with 4 operations. So you can easily set them a question where they've got 2 weights of whatever, Play-Doh I've got here, and they have to find the total. Most children understand and can do addition. Of course, it's always a useful check. But subtraction is trickier, and it's really worth setting up problems that test it in both ways. Can they start with a quantity of Play-Doh, and it could be, say, 500 grams, and know what happens if you take away 60 grams? Do they know that that's subtraction? Do they know that taking away means subtract? And then similarly, if you've got 2 pieces of Play-Doh and one of them is, say, 180 grams and the other is maybe 315 grams, can they find the difference between those weights? Do they know that that's subtraction as well? Are they happy and comfortable that subtraction is both starting with the whole and removing some and finding what's left, or it is starting with both parts? It's starting with a part and a whole and finding the difference between them to find the other part. It's that part-whole model. You might start with the total and knock off one part to get what remains, or you might start from what remains and count on to the total to find the total. Hi, if you're there, it'd be lovely. Just say hi and ask me any questions you've got. Your questions take priority. And of course we can do the same with capacity or with length. We can check children can start with a total amount and know that if some of it's gone, oh hi Fee, you got any questions for me live today? I've got all the apparatus here that I can use to explain things. So if you're working on subtractions, you might start with a capacity of liquid and set up a situation where some of it's gone, find the rest. Or you might have 2 capacities of liquid and find the difference between them. So you can really focus in on making sure that children deeply understand that subtraction is both things, counting on and taking away. And then of course multiplication is fairly easy because that's generally just counting groups of the same size. But division is tricky again, and these problem solving with measure gives you such a chance to make it real, make it multisensorial in a new situation. So for division, you might have a total weight and you might want to share it fairly into 3 equal parts and find the weight of each part. And of course you can do that if you've got some Play-Doh and check that your answer is pretty much right. It might not come out perfect due to human error and rounding, but it's nice to be able to really do it and have a sense of what you're doing. So that's the sharing fairly model of division. But you can also set up problems where you start with a total and you ask children, how many balls of weight 40 grams can I make? And that's the counting groups model of division. And of course you can do that with capacity as well. You might have a capacity of liquid that you need to share fairly between 3 people because it's their favourite drink and they're going to fight if they don't all get the same amount. Or you might need to fill glasses of a certain amount or medicine spoons of a certain amount. How many doses or small glasses can you get? And you can do that with length, and you can do it with other measures as well. Interestingly, it's really difficult to do with temperature. Really glad you're enjoying it, Fee. This is a bit of an opportunity to show how powerful it is when you have expert teachers who deeply understand what they're doing and can adapt, instead of teachers who are just slavishly following a scheme, because the scheme's going to have some problem solving questions for each measure because that's in the curriculum. But you can tailor it to your class and make it so powerful because you know you're forcing them to focus on the maths that really matter if you really know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then following a pre-written scheme is, of course, a very good thing to do. But with the help of these videos, you can really know what you're doing. And of course, if you're teaching, I think, Fee, you've got year 3, 4. If you're teaching at that level, you might know, well, we're working on the 6 times table and they're not very good at it. So you might just set up lots of problems that are really about multiplying or dividing by 6 to consolidate what you're doing, but in a new context, because you're just working with weight or capacity or whatever measure you're working with today. So think, what are my children weak at? If it's a 7 times table, build that in. And remember, you can, with your tables, you can build them in through short multiplication and short division. If they've had a go at those, if they're stuck on the 7 times table, lots of short multiplication by 7 is going to really consolidate that, because they are practicing all the same results as in the 7 times table. And similarly, short division by 7 is practicing the same results. And of course, if they've nailed the 4 operations, if they deeply get them, you can extend the division by doing long division and dealing with the different ways of dealing with remainders in context, which is very powerful. But you can go on and you can do fractions of amounts. Lovely to do that with the Play-Doh and with the capacity. It's just multiplication division, but it's giving it that deep understanding, that context. And at higher levels, you can talk about ratios and you can talk about percentages. Really, any of your core maths you can do with your measure quantities. So that's the theme of today. If anyone's got any questions, just hit me with them now, because I'm going to go in a minute or 2 if there aren't any more. Fee, I know that you will send me yours anyway. That's fine. Just get my cup of tea. So what's going live? My capacity went live yesterday. Weight is going live at 9:30 today, and I'm busy working on time. And money should go live this week, and I haven't really thought beyond there yet, but we'll get there. I would love to get all of these finished by Christmas, fingers crossed. The one that's floating around in my mind is pie charts, because that's just terrible on the English national curriculum, because it doesn't specify the level at which you're supposed to do pie charts, and it could go anywhere. I've got a clear idea of what should be on pie charts in year 6, but unfortunately the national curriculum hasn't. And I'm going to work hopefully in 2021 with some suppliers of apparatus to make some kit. Time will be great, particularly low floor, high ceiling. Oh my goodness, time is the most horrible topic. I put it in the introduction to this series 4. I did say most of these topics you can just hit once and do really well, and then just do a bit of revision at the end. Time is different. Time is such a hard idea for children. It doesn't flow in a linear way. But I'm going to explain all of that and why they find it so hard and get the clock out in that video, which hopefully I'll film tomorrow. I think I'm just tidying up the scripting. There isn't much scripting for my videos, just some pointers to try and make sure that I cover the key things. All right, that's it. I'm going to sign off for now. Have a great Sunday. Bye for now.